Good evening, everyone, and welcome to round one of the WPIAL Class 4A Boys Basketball Playoffs. We are coming to you live from Barth and Graham Court on the campus of North Catholic. It is a playoff edition of Trojan Game Day. Your North Catholic Trojans meet the Mount Pleasant Vikings in this first round matchup. The Trojans enter this evening's game as the number 5 seed, coming out of Section 1 in 4A with a 15-4 overall record, 6-0 in the section, while the number 12 Vikings come in at 9-8 overall, 6-5 in their section out of Section 3. Hello everyone, I'm Sean Malone coming to you from Cranberry Township as North Catholic and Mount Pleasant get set for this exciting first round matchup. I'm pleased to be joined again in the booth by Phil O'Hara this evening. Phil, we did the girls game last night. They went off to a 32-7 lead in the first quarter. Just a lightning fast start from the girls. Do you think we could see something similar in this game, or do you think it's going to be closer?
I think there's probably the opportunity for it to be closer, but I will say definitely that Coach DiGregorio agrees with you, Sean, that the boys do need to get off to a fast start. That's one of the things he's pointed out, that they have had a couple slow starts this year, and they need to get it going early, even against a team that they're probably expected to win against. So I think it's going to be closer, but I do think that these Trojans need an early start and get things rolling.
And last night in the girls' game, we talked multiple times about how we were surprised that they came out right away with a press that just flummoxed Brownsville. There's not going to be a surprise in this game. The boys' team is going to press, and it's going to be really important for Mount Pleasant to handle that press if they want to stick with the Trojans.
I think you're exactly right on that. North Catholic is what they are on defense, and that's pressure, full court, up and down. And, I don't think there's going to be any surprise when that comes out to face Mount Pleasant here.
Yeah, again, we talked about the podcast that the students put out. It's just been a gold mine of information for us up here in the broadcast booth. We talked about the fast start that North Catholic wants to get off to tonight. Coach DiGregorio did say that the team had a lot of slower starts. And also, he said that turnovers have been a little bit of a problem on offense. So maybe that's something that we can watch out for tonight, is North Catholic trying to limit its turnovers and getting off to a fast start. And something else he mentioned was playing a difficult non-conference schedule. When I read the records there, North Catholic only 6 games in the section. That's a really low number of section games, especially considering that Mount Pleasant played 11 section games. But North Catholic played a ton of out-of-section games. They actually have played 2 more games total than Mount Pleasant, even though they played 5 less section games. And those non-section games for the Trojans have been against quality competition. So despite the lack of games in section, they're ready for the playoffs, I think.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. I mean, they started their season off with a really big game against Our Lady of the Sacred Heart, which is considered by some people to maybe be the best team in the WPIAL, even though they're a 2A school, with Dante Spadafore and Jake DeMichael on that team. Really good, and the Trojans hung with that team. They also have had games against Peters Township, 6A, Baldwin, 6A, Mount Lebanon, 6A, Central Catholic, 6A. Highlands, a big team in 5A. Penn Hills, Thomas Jefferson, Norwin. I mean, this schedule is littered. It's almost like that was their section play as opposed to their legitimate section play.
Yeah, in those non-section games, they would have gone 9-4, which is a really respectable record considering they're a 4A team playing most of those games against 5A and 6A teams. And the one game that they went down in classification was against the best 2A team in the state, probably, in Olsh. I remember watching Spadafora when he was sophomore, I think, a couple of years ago, and he and DiGregorio just put on a show. They went just toe-to-toe, back and forth. That was an awesome basketball game.
That was a fantastic game.
I don't think they had DeMichael back then, and North just had a little bit more firepower, and they ended up winning that game.
That was a great game. It was right here at Barth and Graham Court. Fantastic game.
Yeah, so hopefully we're going to be in for a good game tonight. And something to look for that we've talked about before the game is going to be the three-point shooting for both teams. Mount Pleasant won on Monday in their preliminary round a game against Hopewell by a score of 61-34. They held Hopewell to 8 points in the first half. Wow. to secure the easy win. Nate Kuboski scored 21 points for the Vikings, but a lot of those points came from behind the three-point line, Phil.
That's exactly right. Kuboski had 4 3-pointers, and then Jacob Bungard, who had for 12 points total, he had 4 3-pointers as well. So all of Bungard's points came off of that three-pointer. 10 total three-pointers made for Mount Pleasant. And I got to tell you, Sean, I'm really interested to see how that three-point shooting stacks up against this Trojans defense, because they played Hopewell, who was a zone defense team. And zone defenses, especially if it's not the best executed, can give up those deep shots. These Trojans are going to be in their face. There's going to be no uncontested shots, I don't think. So it'll be interesting to see if Mount Pleasant can keep up the three-point shooting.
And that was the other thing that really surprised me in the basketball podcast that our boys put out, was that Coach Gregorio said that the offense and the turnovers have been a problem, but they are playing great, and he even used the word championship-level defense. You so rarely hear coaches say championship about anything at the start of the playoffs. And I've seen the boys' team lose a blowout loss to Central Catholic and then beat up on a couple of other teams. But in all those games, their defense was fantastic.
That's right. Even in that very, very bad loss for the Trojans, they only gave up 48 points in that game. So
yeah, it was definitely not the defense that was the problem there. We are going to go courtside now for the national anthem and the starting lineups. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. North Catholic High School welcomes you to Barth and Graham Court for tonight's first-round matchup between the Mount Pleasant Vikings and your North Catholic Trojans. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem? And now for the introduction of tonight's starting lineups. First, for the visitors, the Mount Pleasant Vikings. Starting at forward, a senior, number 32, Jacob Bungard. Starting at forward, a senior, number 35, Jonas King. Starting at guard, a senior, number 13, Nathan Kuboski. Starting at guard, a senior, number 5, Tyler Salvatore. And starting at guard, a senior, number 4, Lucas Tui. The Vikings are coached by TJ Kravitz, and their team manager is Landon John Carlson. And now, let's meet tonight's starting lineup for your North Catholic Trojans. Starting at guard, a senior, number 3, Owen DiGregorio. Starting at guard, a senior, number 5, Isaiah Jackson. Starting at guard, a junior, number 10, Matt Greger. Starting at guard, a senior, number 20, Connor Madelon. And starting at forward, a senior, number 45, Andrew Ammerman. The Trojans are coached by Dave DiGregorio.
So, Sean, along with the three-point shot, I think we also might have a chance to see some dunks in this game. Andrew Ammerman for the Trojans obviously has been known to throw one down here and there, but Jonas King, number 35 for the Vikings, also had a couple dunks in their last game. So maybe we're going to get some inside-outside action here tonight.
Yeah, and Ammerman is, I think, listed 6'7" or 6'8", and King looks almost every bit as tall as he is.
He absolutely does.
At least 6'6". Ammerman, I have not seen him dunk in person this year. I know I saw it a couple times last year. So I'd love to see some dunks by Ammerman. There's going to be a three-pointer right away from Bungard, and he hits it. That's pure from Bungard.
Right away.
He hits a three.
There you go.
And he was wide open there.
He was wide open.
Isaiah Jackson gives it to Matt Greger, to DiGregorio in the corner. Ball's poked away from him, but goes to Jackson. Jackson gets a pick. He is going to pass it to DiGregorio in the corner, who could not receive the pass. Trojans turn it over, and that's probably not the start that Coach DiGregorio was looking for in the first 30 seconds.
That's exactly right, Sean. Also interesting to see Mount Pleasant in the zone.
And we're going to have our first foul of the game. I think it's going to be Andrew Ammerman with contact down low, a kind of a pushing foul almost, as Ammerman was hedging out on that screen. You don't want to see him getting in foul trouble, although Kyle Topinski is also good down low off the bench for North Catholic.
Great pass.
Great pass from Jonas King. Great backdoor cut. That was Bungard. He's got all 5 of the Mount Pleasant points, and they are up by a score of 5-0. We'll
Sean,
see how
you're exactly right. This is not the start the Trojans wanted.
And we'll see how they attack this zone. To Madelon in the corner. North Catholic just moving it around the outside. Lots of ball fakes, and there's a kick from Nathan Kabuski. Mount Pleasant, it looks like they might have the players to make this zone effective. They've got a lot of length down low, and you can see it there with Kabuski making those passes hard to the corners.
Yeah, active guards up front too. Kabuski coming up high from that bottom layer. Yeah, it definitely looks like that this is something that they've got some experience with. And Sean, going back to the start too, tough start from the standpoint of a wide open three and then a wide open backdoor cut under the basket and a good pass. I mean, those are the kind of things that a tough defense doesn't give up normally.
Yeah, that is. We just praised their defense, and they gave up 2 pretty easy shots as Isaiah Jackson takes a long and maybe ill-advised 3, but he's bailed out with a foul from Bungard. So Jackson will shoot 3, and we'll see if this can get the Trojans going. Yeah, I would not expect to see a layup that open again the rest of the game.
Nor would I.
Jackson's first is well short and off to the right. So the Mount Pleasant lead remains 5. 6:30 left to play in the first quarter.
Ooh, Jackson, those legs a little bit tight maybe right now.
Yeah, he's shaking his head, doesn't
really
know what's wrong here. Hopefully he can go at least 1 for 3 here. And all 3 of them were short. And let's see what this pressure North Catholic defense can do. It is DiGregorio guarding Salvatore. Salvatore to King.
Backdoor again, this time to Kabuski. Wow.
Yeah, 2 backdoor cuts.
Wow.
Maybe Mount Pleasant saw something on film that North Catholic is. I mean, what makes a good backdoor? Like, what sets up the backdoor cut? Phil?
A lot of times it's the flashing up on the pass that you think they're going to get on the wings. Sometimes even a good pass fake on that, and then you just go backdoor. And it can happen to teams that are aggressive on defense, right? Because they want to overplay that first pass.
Matt Greger, right off the inbounds pass, is way long on that 3. And North Catholic continues to struggle here in the first quarter. 7-0 Mount Pleasant leads. They are 3 for 3 in terms of field goals, and it looked like they were going to have an open 3, but instead they settle for a long jump shot. It misses. Fight for the rebound. Matt Greger has it. He's going to go on the fast break. A long Euro step.
That's
got to be basket interference, and it is. So the Trojans get on the board. Jonas King showing off that leaping ability that got him 2 dunks in the last game. He took that off of the rim.
He sure did.
I thought it was still going to fall down into the basket.
As did I.
So a good basket interference call. That earns Matt Greger 2 points, the first 2 of the game for North Catholic. King gets it, and Max Rotman is going to knock it off of King and out of bounds. So that's the first turnover for Mount Pleasant, and North Catholic starting to pick it up.
Yeah, they needed that, although I will say Mount Pleasant does not seem to be fazed by the full court pressure or the half court pressure for that matter. There's a high-low for the Trojans.
And Mount Pleasant, with those active guards again, gets the ball away. I think that Jonas King could really be crucial for Mount Pleasant in terms of breaking the press. He has 2 assists already. He looks really comfortable moving the ball.
He does.
As Matt Greger hits a 3. Couple of feet behind the 3-point line. He's got all 5 of the Trojan points. I was saying that King can see over the top of that press and distribute it to teammates. I think that could help Mount Pleasant.
An important way to break the press is getting a guy to the middle and then having him be able to get it back down to one of the wings. And you're exactly right. King has done a very nice job of that. Also working that lane hard, too.
King kicks it out to Bungard. Bungard to Kubuski. And now you've got the North Catholic bench clapping as they've got Mount Pleasant stymied for a long time here. Salvatore is going to try to drive in. He kicks it to Tui. Tui being guarded closely by Greger. He picks up his dribble. And, we got a double team. It looked like he almost stepped on the out-of-bounds line, but gets it back to Kubuski. Bungard now.
You don't want to give up those easy passes off that trap, Sean. That's one coach really wishes would be a lot more difficult pass.
Ammerman with a nice show. The ball's on the ground, picked up, and Ammerman deflects it. He's got it. Could we see a dunk here? He's going up.
There
he slams it home. Andrew Ammerman and one with a dunk.
There we go. That's going to fire the Trojans up. Heck, it fired me up, Sean.
Yeah, wow. I mean, you could tell from half court that he was going to try to dunk that ball.
Yes, you
could. And he dunked it through contact. 7-0 run now for the Trojans after they started off the game down 7-0. And let's see if Ammerman can make it 8-7 and the first lead for North Catholic. And he does. Andrew Ammerman with the free throw. One thing I've noticed about him this year, his free throw shooting is much, much improved from last season. He's definitely shooting a good percentage from the line.
Really important for a big guy who's going to get a lot of contact. I just noticed something right there. King had plenty of space in front of him to dribble, and he did not. It'll be interesting to see if he's not so good on the dribble.
Definitely can pass, but maybe not dribbling. Bungard now goes up. His shot is altered by Ammerman, but King does a nice job coming in from the weak side, grabs the off-the-block shot and puts it in for 2 points. Jonas King, only 2 points, but really making his presence known in this game. Madelon gets into the lane, finger roll, misses. Fight for the rebound. Ammerman has it. Ammerman is fouled hard, and he'll go back to the line and try to regain the lead for North Catholic.
Nice to see the Trojans respond to that early 7-0 run there by the Vikings, and now we've got a pretty entertaining ball game so far.
Yeah, and I think it's really was the defense that brought the Trojans back into this game. Matt Greger had a nice three-pointer there, but they got 2 turnovers, one of them leading to the Ammerman dunk. So this team really does get a lot of their offense from their defense, I would say.
Absolutely.
Andrew Ammerman goes 1 for 2 at the line. And now Tui throws it across to Kubuski. Kyle Topinski is in the game for the Trojans.
Oh, King wasn't expecting that one. Interesting.
Let's see if North Catholic can do something on the fast break here. Jackson into Ammerman. He's pretty open down there. He's going to lay it up and lay it in.
Great seal by Ammerman and a great job by Isaiah to find him there on that seal.
Yeah, Jackson is just... He's a great traditional passing point guard. He's not going to look to score a ton himself, but he can really distribute the ball, and he plays amazing defense.
Yep.
And there's another turnover from Mount Pleasant.
Oh, right
Max
back.
Rotman gives it right back to Kubuski, and a lob to King. That was an ill-advised play, and it's going to result in a turnover for Mount Pleasant. Just try to get the layup there. King is right there for the rebound.
Absolutely. Too flashy. And even just a simple pass to him would have converted to a layup, and I saw the Vikings coach not pleased with that at all.
Max Rotman now gets into the teeth of that zone. Quick passes leads to an open 3 for Madelon in the corner. He might have been fouled there. Ammerman looked like he got the rebound, but threw it to Mount Pleasant. Gregor's in there to
Hey!
take a charge. And there's that defense again for North Catholic coming up. Gregor looks like he got hit maybe kind of hard there. He's hunched over a little bit. Not surprising at all that Matt Gregor takes a charge. He is one of the hardest working players that I've ever seen. And he is in great shape. He will sprint up and down the court the whole game. I actually had the privilege of coaching him for Ultimate Frisbee for one season, and he is just tireless.
He is. He really has a motor.
Great ball movement here from North Catholic. They finally get it down low to Ammerman. He swoops around King, lays it up with his left hand, and it goes in. Ammerman has 8 points. North Catholic up 13-9. And they can reverse a score quickly, can they?
Well done by Ammerman to change hands and change direction. Another turnover for the Trojans.
And it's going to lead to I was going to say an easy layup for Max Rotman, but he misses it.
Surprised that Gregor didn't put that back up.
I guess he was looking for the three. North Catholic doing a job on the offensive boards. And Ammerman tried to get a foul, but good defense from King. North Catholic comes up empty despite the 3 shots there. And Mount Pleasant has had a lot of trouble now against North Catholic's defense. Kubuski gives it to, I think that's Tui. Yes, it is. Tui guarded by Rotman. Now that's Nick Urechko. Throws it to King. King again had trouble catching that pass.
And again, the Vikings look like they're maybe trying to do too much at this point. After jumping out to that early lead and seeing that the Trojans have responded, maybe trying to do a little too much.
Yeah, their coach over there putting his palms down, telling people to just calm down. And it looks like we had a illegal pick on Kyle Topinski. Ben Tomer is in the game as well, another depth interior player for North Catholic. And Matt Gregor's just going to almost take that away from Tui. Tui was looking up, trying to find someone to pass to. While he was looking up, Gregor was sitting there getting his hands on the ball.
Yeah, this defense that the Trojans utilize, quick trapping, almost to the point where it looks like there's 2 players against 1. And you wonder, why can't they find the open man? Because it comes so early.
And Mount Pleasant almost loses it again, but now they calm things down. And it's now that's a tough turnaround jump shot. That's an air ball for Bungard.
Yeah, with no shot clock. I'm not sure why you take a shot like that. It seems way too rushed.
Matt Gregor, wide open 3 for Connor Madelon. It's a little bit long. Rebound, King skies for it. Tui leaked out, and he's going to get an easy layup. That's 4 or 5 easy baskets.
Easy.
For Mount Pleasant. But those are the only baskets that they've scored. That was a great awareness on that play by Tui. He knows he's got a good rebounder in Jonas King. He leaked out and was able to get an easy layup. So Tui's got an easy layup. Kubuski has a backdoor cut. Bungard has a backdoor cut and an open 3. And I'm forgetting how King scored. But at least 4 of those baskets are wide open with no one near you. And those are really the only ones that North Catholic has given up.
I think King's was off an offensive rebound and a putback.
Yes, yeah, you're right. You're correct.
I'll tell you, Sean, we've got 47 seconds left here in this first quarter. The score is 13-11, the Trojans, but it seems like the Trojans have dominated the whole second part of this quarter, and we're only up by 2.
Yeah, I mean, they were down 7-0. So they are on a 13-4 run, which is pretty dominant. But it's hard to overcome a 7-0 deficit as quickly as they have. Madelon down low to Ammerman for his second dunk. He makes that look so easy.
It's almost like Madelon wanted to bobble that a little bit so the defense collapsed on him and just left Ammerman all alone.
It was really fortunate they didn't get a turnover there. And Ammerman and Madelon almost get a steal. Tui now gives it to King in the corner. And he throws it to Bungard. And Bungard had gotten away from Madelon a little bit, and that leads to a foul.
And again, they tried to get that backdoor cut again, almost like maybe this is something that they practiced, like that was going to be their game plan coming in. Let's use this over-aggressive defense against the Trojans.
Ben Tomer's going to come back in for Ammerman. Does Ammerman have 2 fouls?
He has 1 foul.
Okay. Maybe they're trying to protect him, and the pass is thrown to Kyle Trubisky
Yeah.
on the bench. He just catches it, like looks at the ball, like, what did I just catch? As he's there on the bench. That was pretty funny.
All of these Vikings do enjoy throwing the one-handed swoop pass. Like they like to let it loose.
And that's a dangerous pass. Isaiah Jackson is going to take a long three. It's blocked, but he gets it right back. Oh, I realize now why he was taking the long three. We were at the end of the first quarter.
Yes, I also missed that as well.
So North Catholic is going to take a 15-11 lead to the second quarter. And here's how that 15-11 score happened. For the Trojan, Matt Greger has 5, including 1 3-pointer. Andrew Ammerman has 10. For Mount Pleasant, they've got 4 players scoring. Nathan Kabuski has 2. Jacob Bungard has 5, including 1 3-pointer. Jonas King has 2. And Lucas Tui has 2. 15-11 is the lead for North Catholic. What were your takeaways there from the first quarter, Phil?
So you mentioned Bungard had the 1 3-pointer, Sean, but I don't have anybody else really taking many other attempts. So that has not been a staple of this offense for Mount Pleasant. And what we have seen is a lot more of the backdoor cuts, which early on seemed to affect the Trojans. Perhaps it's something that Coach D brought up to them and that they have done a much better job of being aggressive against those backdoor cuts. And clearly, though, they have gotten a lot of turnovers, which has converted to points and has allowed them to get back into it after Mount Pleasant jumped out to that early lead.
Yeah, this North Catholic is the 5 seed, and Mount Pleasant, I believe, is the 12 seed. Which, I mean, if you like your NCAA brackets, the 5-12 is one of those upset games. But normally in high school basketball, a 5-12 is normally going to go to the 5 seed. But Mount Pleasant really putting up a fight so far here. Although they don't want to let the game get away from them. We'll see what happens in the second quarter. Greger to Madelon down low. Madelon,
Nice.
Easy layup. And North Catholic, after struggling against that zone for 2 or 3 possessions, is now just starting to pick it apart.
Great job on the press again, getting hands on the ball, forcing deflections.
So what kind of press is North Catholic running here, Phil?
So you can see Connor Madelon off the ball looking for the first pass, and they try to trap that first pass. And then after that, it's kind of a scramble to get another trap like there against the sideline.
Well, that was a great narration as Matt Greger lays it up and in. And we're going to get a full timeout from Mount Pleasant as North Catholic goes up 19-11. NC Athletics has launched its very own podcast. Weekly episodes will dive deep into the world of North Athletics to keep you up to date. Current NC freshmen Alex Brown and Ryan Barry are the hosts of this brand new podcast. In the first episode that was released this Tuesday, the boys previewed the WPIAL playoff brackets for your Trojanettes and Trojans, and they sat down with Coach Rotman and Coach DiGregorio to get their take on their respective seasons. You can find the NC Athletics podcast on northcatholicathletics.org, Spotify, Google Podcast, and coming soon to iTunes.
Sean, we talked about that last night at the girls' game, that podcast, and mentioned it also a little bit here at the top of this broadcast. I hadn't had a chance to listen to it as of last night, but on the drive over here, I did enjoy a listen, and a great job by those guys. Great job by North Catholic for giving the kids the opportunity to put that together as well.
Yeah, and Ryan Barry and Alex Brown are freshmen. So I'm really excited to see where they take that podcast in the next 4 years, as they'll probably continue to grow in that talent. And what else they can do for our athletics department. If this COVID has been good for one thing, it's really forced schools to innovate in how they get game content to fans, including our broadcast here. And I don't know what happened there.
Hit off the top of the backboard.
Okay.
I also thought maybe they were going to call a foul on Jackson for contact after the shot, but instead it was hit off the top of the backboard there.
So Mount Pleasant misses a 3. They are down by 8 points now. Madelon to Greger in the corner. Ammerman flashes in. He gets the ball. He's going to fight through some contact, but he travels.
What I find interesting for the Vikings here right now is they are letting the pass get to the interior of their zone, and it almost looks like they're fine with it.
Isaiah Jackson with a really long 3. North Catholic almost gets the rebound, but Mount Pleasant's Bungard has it, and he gives it to Salvatore. Salvatore is going to get double teamed in the backcourt throws it to Tui. Tui to King in the middle. King fires a pass to Bungard, and Mount Pleasant will settle things down. And T. Gregorio might have gotten away with a little bit of a push in the back there.
Absolutely, but that is a mismatch there that the Vikings will want to take advantage of.
Matt Greger misses a 3, but Ammerman big down low, fights through contact and lays it in. He's got 12. Ammerman is really giving Mount Pleasant trouble down low. Double teams again by Jackson and Madelon. Bungard throws it away, and Mount Pleasant is now struggling mightily against the press.
Yeah, coach is over there trying to tell him to just calm down. Again, they really want to find the middle of the floor because the Trojans want to trap on that sideline.
I don't know if King has been told to do something different, but he seemed to give them a good outlet in the middle of the floor, and when they've been turning it over, the ball hasn't been getting to him, so I wonder if they'll go back to King. Isaiah Jackson, good ball fake to get it down low to Madelon, but King is able to block the shot. The ball bounces out of bounds. Coach Di Gregorio calls out a play from the sideline. The Trojans have great out-of-bounds plays. They often get a good shot within like a couple seconds of the play, and we'll see if that happens here. It does. A wide-open 3 for Andrew Madelon. He misses it wide right, though. Rebound goes to Jackson. He throws it to Max Rotman. Rotman back to Jackson. Jackson back to Rotman, who swings it to Madelon. Madelon ball faking to Andrew Madelon, a one-touch pass to Andrew Ammerman. That's just such beautiful cutting and ball movement against the zone, Phil.
Yeah, great assist, and I'll tell you, I think this Mount Pleasant 2-3 zone is not nearly as active as it was to begin with, although there's a nice drive.
But it's a missed layup. Pass is thrown ahead to Madelon. He's going to throw to Max Rotman. Wide open 3 is long. North Catholic, despite regaining a 23-11 lead, is kind of struggling from the three-point line.
They are. And I know that I was supposed to be keeping track of those three-point shots, Sean, and I have not been doing the best job of that, I'll tell you what.
I'm going to say they're about 1 for 8 right now.
They definitely only have the one.
So Mount Pleasant bringing it up, trying a 3 from Bungard. It's way long, shot altered by Ammerman. Jackson, will he go one-on-one? He decides to slow things down. And he passes to Andrew Madelon, who gives it back to Isaiah. Isaiah goes baseline, ball fakes, and he had nowhere to go with that. Mount Pleasant ends up with a steal. And there's another turnover that Coach Di Gregorio is probably not going to be too happy with. Tui to Salvatore, and he's double teamed. Gives it to Kubuski, to Tui. 3 is way off top of the backboard again. Ammerman, not blocking those shots, but making Mount Pleasant very uncomfortable shooting from beyond the arc.
Yeah, I don't know the height difference between Ammerman and Tui, but it's significant. And you see that hand coming to you, it's going to probably affect your shot.
Jackson getting a pick from Topinski. Kicks it to Greger. Greger, ball fakes, shoots a 3, and hits a 3. Matt Greger's second three-pointer of the game. He's now in double figures with 10. Tui's got it in the corner. He's guarded by Max Rotman. He gives it to Kubuski. Kubuski is now chased by Rotman.
Kubuski, after being the top scorer in the last game, only has 2 points in this one so far.
Bungard is their top scorer, and he adds to his total with a nice jump shot. He's got 7. And that's Mount Pleasant's first points in the second quarter. Max Rotman didn't really look like he knew what he wanted to do there.
Yep, you get caught in the air, you can make mistakes like that.
Kubuski is going to try a 3, and that's good. He had 4 three-pointers in their first round, as you said. He's got 5 now, and it's 26-16. 10-point lead. Mount Pleasant trying to dig into that North Catholic lead a little bit.
Sean, have we seen any substitutions for the Vikings?
They have had number 10, Nick Urechko in.
Okay.
I was just going to bring that up as a reason for why their zone is not as active.
I agree.
And North Catholic plays so fast. If you don't sub, your players are going to get tired, and your defense isn't going to work as well. Your offense might not be as crisp. And that's definitely something to pay attention to as Bungard rises and fires and misses by a lot again. North Catholic will try to go on the fast break. Rotman is turned away. Greger gets into the lane, though. Oh, that was
Great
a pretty
pass.
play. He draws 2 defenders to him, dumps the ball off to Ammerman. Ammerman is on pace for a 30-point night. He's got 16 points already.
He's got as many as the Vikings.
Yeah, that's a great point. Andrew Ammerman, 16. Mount Pleasant, 16. Ammerman, though, is going to the bench, so his teammates are going to need to hold Mount Pleasant down until he gets a breather and can come back in. It's Salvatore. Gregor in front of him. Gregor giving him no room at all. Salvatore is almost crushed by Tal Kapinski, and he throws it away. Madelon tries to go over Salvatore, misses the layup, and Bungard gets it. Gives it back to Salvatore, who's immediately double-teamed. Bungard is wide open this time, but North Catholic sprints back. He pulls up, fires a long 3. It misses. There's a sub.
How about
for Mount
that?
Pleasant with a rebound. Dante Gilinardo gets the offensive rebound and the putback. Isaiah Jackson, that's a great sign, hits a 3. I don't think he's shot the ball well from 3 really all year, so it would be great if he could get going for North Catholic.
And he's now the 3rd Trojan to hit a 3.
Kabuski, he fires quickly on the 3, it misses, and another offensive rebound for Gilinardo. Good work off the bench for him on the offensive boards. Mount Pleasant, it looks like, has decided now to just let Kabuski go one-on-one. That's their offense.
Yeah.
Moving the ball just resulted in a lot of turnovers. And we'll see if they turn it over now that they've given, that they not let Kabuski had it. And that's exactly what happens. Gilinardo is menaced by Topinski and ends up dribbling it out of bounds.
I'm curious to know what year Gilinardo is. I don't know if we have that information here. He looks young, but I give him credit coming in and making a difference right off the bat.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He does look young, probably a freshman or a sophomore, you would think. And Mount Pleasant is going to need people on their bench. So we've said that they look tired in the zone. They bring Gilinardo in. He made that pass a lot tougher with his movement and forced yet another turnover by North Catholic.
Absolutely.
31-18, 1:15 left to play in the second quarter. This has gone really fast this first half.
It really has. I looked up at the clock here in the second quarter, and it's already, we're down to about 1:10 left.
And it's Kubuski.
Gilinardo is indeed a freshman.
Okay, working on Kyle Topinski. Nice spin move to get into the lane. A no-look pass.
Great block, I thought, Sean. I thought that was all ball.
That was some great basketball there. Topinski is a really good defender, and Kubuski fooled him with a spin move to get into the lane. There was some help defense. There was a no-look shuffle pass to King. And then almost a great block by Ameren. That was some pretty basketball.
It really was. I liked it a lot. And let's give credit to the crew up here in the booth with us. They're the ones who found that information on that year for Gilinardo.
King misses both, and that's just not a good sign for Mount Pleasant. When you're the underdog, you got to take advantage of those free throws. Under a minute now. Owen DiGregorio has it, gives it to Topinski. Mount Pleasant stays in that 2-3 zone. Max Rotman, pass deflected. It just seems like Gilinardo's given that defense a whole new burst of life. They're a lot more active right now. Ammerman to DiGregorio, and quick passing. Topinski had moved away, but gives it back to DiGregorio. DiGregorio's 3 is in and out. Gilinardo with another rebound. That's at least his 3rd in about 2 minutes off the bench. Kubuski is going to get double teamed. He's dribbling. And what a pass!
It was a great pass. Bungard with 10 now. But I'll tell you, as a coach, again, you hate to see that. You got the guy trapped in the corner, and he basically is throwing it away. And it finds Bungard for the 3.
Topinski tries a 3 towards the end. It misses. Mount Pleasant's going to hold it, and it's going to be 31-21 heading into the second half. North Catholic with a 10-point lead. They were up by, I think, 4 at the end of the first quarter, so they stretched that lead by 6 here in the second quarter. And I'll recap the scoring for you. Isaiah Jackson has 3 for the Trojans. Matt Gregor has 10. Connor Madelon has 2. And Andrew Ammerman easily leads all scorers with 16. For the Vikings, Nathan Kubuski has 5. Jacob Bungard has 10. Jonas King has 2. Lucas Tui has 2. And Dante Gilinardo has 2. Any takeaways from the first half before we head to a break, Phil?
Well, one of the things we did want to pay attention to was that three-point shooting for the Vikings. Bungard does have the 2 3-pointers and Kabuski has 1, but attempts from Tui, Kabuski, and Bungard has shot a lot of threes. I have them at 2 out of 4. 2 out of 6. So not the best three-point shooting from them.
33%, not a bad three-point percentage, though. I think if you're above 30, I mean, that's not bad. I think the problem for them really is the number of attempts.
Yeah.
If they made 10 three-pointers in that other game and their coach says that they love to shoot the three, 2 out of 6 is probably just not enough three-pointers for them.
That's exactly right. And I may have missed a couple there, so that percentage might be a little bit lower. But I don't know. I think when you get to this halftime score here, you probably were maybe expecting the Trojans by a little bit more, but I definitely think that the second half of that first quarter and definitely the second quarter, this looked like the kind of game that the Trojans would play.
Yeah, and we'll look for that in the second half. Maybe this first half was actually a victory for Mount Pleasant, keeping him within 10, and we'll see what happens in the second half when we come back in about 8 minutes. We welcome you back to Barth and Graham Court as we get ready for the second half. It looks like Mount Pleasant will start with the ball to begin play. They are down by 10. This is Sean Malone alongside Phil O'Hara, bringing you WPIAL 4A boys basketball first round playoff action. Yesterday we saw the girls basketball team with a dominating win over Brownsville. Their next game is going to be Saturday at home, right here at Barth and Graham Court at noon, and coverage hopefully will be right here on NC Sports Network or perhaps on the Trib High School Sports Network. Game is at 10 points right now at Mount Pleasant. Maybe this is a good thing for them. That's probably got to be the coach's message in halftime, is that we're playing a really good team. This is a defending WPIAL champion team, and we're within 10 points in the second half. We started the first half with a 7-0 run. Let's do that again, and this game's going to get really interesting.
That would be my message, Sean. Absolutely. We showed we can hang with these guys. I mean, it was an 18-4 run by the Trojans at the end of the first quarter, beginning of the second quarter, that blew this game open. And if that goes a different way for these Vikings, it could be a lot closer. So we'll see what they can do here.
I think if Mount Pleasant does make a run, it's got to be here early, because they probably got some energy coming out in the second half that they're not going to have in 5 to 10 minutes.
Well, I'll tell you what, Kabuski's come out with some energy real early here.
Yeah, all seniors in the starting lineup for Mount Pleasant. So these guys have probably played together for a long time, as Gregor with an easy dump-off pass to Ammerman and a layup. These seniors have played together their whole lives, and you never want it to be your last game. So you're really going to see Mount Pleasant give it their hardest here, I think, at the beginning of this second quarter.
So, Sean, I asked you this last night, and you were bailed out by a foul call, but what did you think of Gregor's Euro step down there on that one? Was that travel or Euro step?
I wasn't watching closely enough to give it to you. He had a layup earlier that I thought was probably a travel. He missed the layup anyway. Oh, that was the one that got basket interference. Gregor defends the backdoor cut well. There's some learning from the Trojans that they got hurt on in the first half of the first quarter. And let's see how they attack the zone. Madelon in the short corner to Gregor. Gregor, quick ball movement to Di Gregorio. He's going to get inside to Madelon in the corner. Madelon's three is good. Bingarino! Connor Madelon. He's in my history of baseball class. Bingarino is a big hit in baseball, so I like to say that whenever he scores.
I could not wait to hear one of those calls today, Sean. I'm so glad Connor Madelon hit that. I remember when you called that in the first game, that he hit a three-pointer when he first came back, and I was very excited to hear that.
So Connor Madelon with a three. North Catholic, though, commits a foul on the other end. And Jonas King is going to go to the line. His previous trip there, I believe he missed both. And that looked like a line drive.
His misses looked like line drives as well.
That probably should have missed, but it goes in for Jonas King. King's second is another line drive. This time it misses. Strong rebound from Ammerman. And North Catholic is going to try to add to an 11-point lead. Di Gregorio to Madelon down low.
Not sure why Connor passed that up.
Yeah, he needed to shoot quickly. Di Gregorio, his three misses. Rebounded by Bungard. Bungard to Kabuski. Kabuski is trapped. He throws it off of Madelon. I'm surprised we haven't seen that before. When you get trapped on the sideline, you just throw it off the other team's legs. You might just get an out-of-bounds play.
And that is the second time I've seen the Vikings do that. On an inbounds pass, they also threw it off a Trojan when they were running out of time.
King on the pick and roll is going to be able to lay it in very close to the basket. He's got 5 points now. Mount Pleasant coming out, playing a little bit better here. But North Catholic has started this second half much better than they started the first half. As Madelon, great ball movement, good vision from Matt Gregor, and Connor Madelon's got 7.
And that time he did get it up quicker. Madelon had his shot blocked by King at one point. Maybe that was in the back of his mind.
Madelon, when he goes to the basket, just tries to run through people.
Yeah, he does.
Sometimes it gets him a charge. There it gets him a block as he was able to get his body not straight on into the Mount Pleasant defender. And Connor will go to the free throw line. His first is wide left and misses. And now we're going to see the first of what will be many substitutions, you would think, in this second half for the Trojans. Andrew Madelon and Max Rotman, both sophomores coming into the game. Much like the girls' team, the boys' team has had to deal with the departure of a great senior class this year. And we've got some younger players stepping up. Rotman and Madelon, two of the most prominent. Bungard misses a three. Madelon to his brother, to Max Rotman, to Isaiah Jackson. Great ball movement leads to an open three for Andrew Madelon. It misses though. Strong rebound from Kubuski.
I've got Kubuski at 6 rebounds. Not the tallest guy out there, but he does work hard.
Yeah, he's just an all-around good basketball player. You can really tell. He was their leading scorer in the first round. He's probably been their best player tonight. Tui working on Jackson. You're not going to get anywhere really on Isaiah Jackson.
That's
He's
right.
such a good defender. Kubuski tries a spin move. It's poked away by Max Rotman. Connor Madelon 2-on-1. No look pass to Andrew Madelon, his brother, who misses the layup. You got to make those layups there.
Yeah, you know, Connor, he gave him a dirty look, too. He gave his younger brother a dirty look after he missed that one. The senior and the sophomore right there, Sean.
Yeah, senior and a sophomore. Andrew, one of 2 sophomores on the court right now with Max Rotman. The other 3 players are all seniors: Andrew Ammerman, Connor Madelon, and Isaiah Jackson.
Oh, my. Oh, that's third foul for Kubuski.
That's going to be a problem for them. Hopefully Andrew Ammerman is okay. He fell hard into the scorer's table and knocked off our makeshift possession arrow. They're going to have to rescue that possession arrow.
Indeed.
The electronic one is not working. Matt Greger goes and picks it up. And Connor Madelon makes his first free throw. He's got 9 now. This second one could get him into double digits.
Leonardo back in the game. He gave a spark to these Vikings. As a matter of fact, when he got in is when that 18-4 run ended. And what do we have going on here at the scorer's table?
Are they complaining about who has the possession of the ball? I mean, the arrow did fall. Yeah, I have no idea what they're talking about down there.
Clock is the problem, is what we're hearing up here in the booth.
Okay. Andrew's a large man.
Yeah.
He did some damage to the scores table there.
Yeah, and the sound. I mean, the sound as he hit into that was definitely pretty loud.
I feel like Coach Reck was clapping there like you do when an injured player gets up. It's like clapping for the injured scorers table as the clock continues to work. That's kind of funny.
All right, Madelon's got 1, I think, here.
Yeah, he has 1 left. He made the first, and he also makes the second. That gives him 10. And after a brief spurt there for Mount Pleasant where they're able to keep it at 10, North is slowly increasing that lead up to 15 now.
Mm-hmm.
King gets it and just gives it off to Kubuski, and the press is broken. They're just giving it to King is really going to be helpful.
Look pass by Kubuski. Too bad King couldn't hold on to that.
His teammates have really got to help him out. He's been doing it all for Mount Pleasant. And that's an incredible and 1 play from Matt Greger. And Kubuski's 4th foul, I think.
If that's on him, that is his 4th. Yep, that is indeed his 4th foul. Wow. That is not good for these Vikings at 3:44 in the third.
So Greger was able to avoid hitting Kubuski head on, and to do that, he really had to just contort his body so that he was chucking the ball up left-handed, it looked like, and it went in. He makes the free throw to get a 3-point play.
Oh boy, the Vikings just absolutely threw that one away.
Ammerman is going to slice through, and he's going to get fouled either by Leonardo or Bungard. And with their best player, Kubuski, on the bench, this could be close to the end of the rope here for Mount Pleasant. I would look for North Catholic to really run up the lead here at the end of the third quarter. Ammerman continues that good free throw shooting. He's got 19. Gregor, Madelon, and Ammerman have all but 3 of the points for North Catholic. Ammerman, if he makes this, has 20. Madelon has 10, and Gregor has 13. Ammerman does have 20 points.
And a 10-0 run here for the Trojans. And they force another turnover.
Yeah, Kubuski's their best ball handler. They've now got Gillinardo in there. They've got Urechko off the bench. They might really struggle to get the ball past half court now. Rotman to Jackson. Jackson to Gregor in the corner, wide open 3. It just misses, and Rotman just rips the ball away from Bungard, and that's a frustration foul on Bungard.
Ooh, and I think that's 3 for Bungard. They called a foul, or yeah, that is his 3rd.
That's their 5th foul already for Mount Pleasant. North Catholic getting ready. Well, I mean, it's already a 20-point lead, but they're getting ready to put this game away. Gregor ball fakes, gets in the lane. His shot is blocked that time, and it's going to go out of bounds. So good defense that time from Mount Pleasant. But the real challenge for them right now is trying to get the ball past half court with their best ball handler on the bench. Urechko can't even get it in.
Oh, no, yeah, just another one that gave away.
Gregor has another open 3 in the corner. It misses. Ammerman too big down low, gets the rebound, kicks it out to Jackson, and history just a little short. Andrew Madelon is fouled by everyone on the Vikings.
Who will they give for that one?
If you're someone and you know you have no fouls, you're just like, me, it was my foul.
you raised that hand. That was all me. 6 team fouls for the Vikings.
And that foul was actually on Tyler Salvatore, his 3rd. So just now a couple players in foul trouble for the Vikings as well, and everything really is going south for them. Andrew Madelon has missed both.
That's going to get another ugly look from his brother.
Tui has it, and Mount Pleasant is across the half-court line for the first time in 3 or 4 possessions. We'll see if they can make it count. Bungard to Jonas King. King swings it to Gillinardo. Gillinardo is going to throw a bounce pass right away to Isaiah Jackson.
If you're the Vikings, I know that they've tried to work it in with the backdoor cuts, but they need to take the 3. They need to get it to Bungard and let him shoot that 3-pointer.
Well, we'll see if they do that here. Tui driving in. Discards Jackson, but his shot is way long. Gregor up to Madelon, Madelon to his brother in the corner, and he just throws it back out to Connor up top. Quick pass down low to Ammerman. Ammerman back to Andrew, to Connor. Connor darts into the lane, dumps it off to Andrew, and an easy layup. That is how you attack the zone.
Yep. And another pass goes out of bounds for the Vikings. The frustration is mounting here for Mount Pleasant.
So, just in case you've only joined us for the second half, this game was 7-0 Mount Pleasant at one point, and you'd never know it now. But North Catholic looked stagnant on offense. Mount Pleasant was getting layups and open 3s, and now North Catholic has a 22-point lead. It's just a totally different game from what happened at the start.
This game was a 10-point game at half, and the Mount Pleasant scored the first basket after the half started.
Madelon misses a 3. Ammerman gets the rebound, though, and puts it in. He's got 24. The lead is now 24 as well. Tui being guarded ferociously, and he's going to throw it away again. Madelon touches it, complains a little bit.
Yeah, he said he didn't touch it, but the referee thought otherwise.
I thought he clipped it too.
I did too.
Yeah, from up
thought
here.
That was a good call.
Tui has it, and
but
gives it
he
right back
mixed
to
up
Madelon.
right there.
Can Madelon dunk? No. He just lays it in.
Well, he didn't dunk. Not sure if he can or he can't, but he chose not to on that one. Classy
I think he
move.
can. I think I've seen him dunk in like warm-ups or something.
Yeah.
But he got a lot of back pressure from the player there. During this timeout, we'd like to tell you that it is National Athletic Training Month, and we would like to give a special shout-out to our 2 fantastic trainers here at North from AHN, Kate Lewandowski and Karen Richards. These 2 do great work all year long to help keep our student athletes in the game. Our Trojan Army student section have dubbed them the GOATs. And for those of you who don't know, that stands for greatest of all time.
Yeah, and these two trainers are fantastic. They are in with every sporting team. They give up a ton of time in the evenings for games, practices, and they really are at everything. The kids love them. Coaches love them. Can't say enough good things about Kate and Karen.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember when you first heard the phrase GOAT for greatest of all time, but for me it was in a Gatorade commercial. And I was so confused as to what it was because they put it up with Muhammad Ali. And like Muhammad Ali is not, and I had thought of GOAT as Madelon travels there off a steal. I had thought of GOAT as like someone who like loses the game.
That's
like,
right.
Oh, he's the GOAT. It's like Muhammad Ali was really good.
Yeah,
and
for the
then
longest time, that's what it was. It was the GOAT. I think I first heard it on the Mike and Mike morning show on ESPN, them talking about who was the GOAT.
Okay, and now I know it stands for the greatest of all time, so I understand the Gatorade commercial. But it definitely took me a couple weeks.
Sean Kubuski is back in the game here.
And he's
with
still giving
1
it
minute,
all.
and yeah, he's still all over the place.
I mean, as a coach, like you've seen Kubuski go out of the game. I'm forgetting whether the lead was 14 or 16, but it's now 26. It's basically, I think you said it's been like a 10-0 run since then. So
At this point, it's a 12. It's an 18.
18-0 run?
16.
And that's probably been since Kubuski has went out of the game.
Yeah.
I know he's got 4 fouls, but you have to get him in there if you have any hope. I mean, they might not now that they're down by 26, but we'll see. And maybe they do. Kubuski with a 3. I mean, he is a really good player. I've really enjoyed watching him tonight. Isaiah Jackson working on Tui. Mount Pleasant still staying in that 2-3 zone, and it gives Madelon a huge opening, but great defense from
block.
Jonas King. Yeah.
Yep, nice block there. And Madelon knew he was coming. He tried to get the extension out, but even with that extension, King still made the block.
And there's Kubuski, a 4-0 run of his own. Ball fakes and then goes up and over Ammerman. Maybe he just needed a little bit of rest.
Yeah, great point, Sean. Maybe he did. Maybe Coach should have been giving him a couple more rests. Would have kept him out of foul trouble and kept him fresh.
Yeah, G. Gregorio now. It looks like the Trojans are doing a little bit. Oh, well, there's only 10 seconds left in the half. That's why they're playing in the quarter. That's why they're playing slow. 5 seconds now. They've got to go. Jackson throws it away to Kubuski. He's got 1 second.
Pass.
Oh, man. He almost had that. That was not a good possession at the end of the half there.
No, not what Coach D wanted.
Yeah, another turnover. It is 52-31 now. A 21-10 score for North Catholic.
That's right.
There in that third quarter. That they really, I think, have put Mount Pleasant away, but we'll see. Kubuski at least is still fighting. To recap the scoring, Isaiah Jackson with 3, Matt Greger 13, Connor Madelon 12, Andrew Ammerman 24. For the Vikings, their leading scorer now is Kubuski with 12, Jacob Bungard with 10, Jonas King with 5, Lucas Tui with 2, and Dante Gillinardo also has 2. I don't know if that was on the live stream, but senior cheerleader Kira McTighe with some nice flips down the sideline. It always bears mentioning in these times. It's great to have cheerleaders and fans in the building.
It does feel a little bit more like playoff basketball atmosphere. A couple more fans here, a little bit more excitement in the gym here tonight. So, Sean, looking back at what Coach D said, he said this team needed to start fast, limit turnovers, and continue to play the good defense. So, no on the starting fast.
No on the turnovers, I would say. There have been some pretty bad ones.
Yep,
but yes on the defense.
Yep.
Their defense is really, really good as advertised. Matt Greger is going to get a foul, and Mount Pleasant Salvatore just looked frustrated there. North Catholic, they play so aggressive that if you're going to call every little piece of contact, you just can't as a ref. And so the other teams have got to be a little frustrated with all the contacts from North Catholic. And there's a travel from Salvatore.
I like the unselfishness of Kubuski there. A pretty good no-look pass. But again, if they want to get back into this, he's got to have to do it.
Yeah, and it's got to be a lot of threes too. We'll see if North Catholic takes a little bit more time on their shots now with a big lead, as Andrew Ammerman is going to commit an illegal screen. I love how much talking the players do with Coach DiGregorio during the game. And he is always teaching his system, and that's one of the reasons they've been so good in the 3 years that he's been the coach here now.
I think there are times where the players would not describe as the discourse between the two of them as talking. I think they might be, that they feel that they are getting taught. Is a good way to describe it.
All right, Mount Pleasant trying to get back on the board. It's Kubuski. He shoots a quick three, and it's good. Kubuski, his third three, and he does not need much space to get his shot off. Madelon has got to be even tighter on defense than that. Gregor's got a lot of room. Dump off pass to Ben Tomer. He misses. Good defense from Jonas King.
Great defense. He forced the pass and got back to adjust the shot. Great job.
Yeah, he only has 5 points, but he's probably been their second best player besides Kubuski. He's had at least 3 assists, played a lot of good defense, good rebounding. He's a solid player. You definitely want him on your team as well.
I agree. It's a pretty good trio there of Kubuski, Bungard, and King. There you go.
There's a chunk. Making that look really easy is Jonas King. And that time it was just a good press break by Mount Pleasant. A couple nice passes in the offensive end, and they get an easy basket. It's 52-36, still a 26-point lead for North Catholic. Ben Tomer dumps it off to Isaiah Jackson. He gets in the paint, looks for a shot, doesn't get anything. Ball fakes it to Gregor. Gregor gets in the lane easily, up and under with his left. He misses. Tomer fighting for the rebound. He goes up strong, and he almost lays it in. Nice battling from Ben Tomer. He has not gotten much varsity time in the games that I have watched, and he's going up against a big, experienced senior in King there. Nice work from Ben Tomer.
That's the 7th team foul for the Vikings, the Kings first. And Sean, actually, this is only a 16-point game.
Well, I can't do math anymore. I stopped teaching Algebra 1 a couple years ago. 16-point game, you're right, is a lot closer than I thought then. So maybe those missed free throws from Tomer are kind of important. And the ball goes back to Mount Pleasant. Yeah, North Catholic got a 21-point lead heading into the fourth quarter. And all 5 points in the fourth quarter have been to Mount Pleasant. And there's another foul. That's going to be the 7th on North Catholic. So Mount Pleasant is going to shoot free throws. And suddenly Mount Pleasant is making a little bit of a run here. A rejuvenated Kubuski, I think, has been key to that. Is there a way that North Catholic can try to get him to make that 5th foul? Like, what is there a strategy that you can do to try to get at one player to make that 5th foul?
You got to take it at him. You take the drive right at him is what you can do, especially a guy like Kubuski who is aggressive. I mean, Isaiah's got to push it in against him right there.
The zone might protect him a little bit, but even still, you do want to drive on him. Jackson instead takes a long three. It's long. Gregor, always moving, gets the rebound, though. That's an extra possession for North Catholic, which Mount Pleasant can't afford in this game.
See, that's another opportunity right there on that drive. Great job by Gregor. He got a foot in the face on that one. How was that not called?
Gillenardo gets a jump ball. He was going to try the Euro step around Madelon. Madelon was having none of it. Almost ripped that ball away. Possession, though, is to Mount Pleasant. Max Rotman will come in for Owen DiGregorio. And Mount Pleasant looked like they were going to throw it away, but Connor Madelon stepped out of bounds. So Mount Pleasant, luckily, will get another chance with the ball. They're still down by 16, 5:38 left in the fourth quarter. Kubuski to Gillenardo, and he dribbles it. Did we get a timeout? No.
He did not. Good heads-up play to try to get it, but he just didn't get it in time.
Mount Pleasant again will inbound. It is Salvatore to King. King is able to go right past Tomer for an and one play. Maybe a nice job there by Mount Pleasant, recognizing perhaps a mismatch. And King is going to go to the line where he has struggled. And it's going to be a timeout from North Catholic. Coach DiGregorio wants to talk things over. He doesn't want this lead to be cut into any more, as it has been whittled all the way down to 14.
I think I got a 12-0 run here for the Vikings. They had 26 early in the third, and then North Catholic went on a run to get them to 52, and since then, North Catholic stuck at 52, and Mount Pleasant is up to 38. So
yeah, you're right. It is a 12-0 run, and Kubuski going in and out of the game was the key for both of those runs.
absolutely.
He leaves, North Catholic goes up on a 16-0 run. He comes back, Mount Pleasant has a 12-0 run. He's just needed more help in this game, but they still might have enough. There, I would think, is enough time for them to come back, especially if they hit a couple threes, and North Catholic turns the ball over a couple times.
I completely agree with you, Sean. 3-point shooting from Bumgard and Kubuski. I think this is definitely surmountable lead here if the Trojans continue to go on a scoring drought.
Yeah, Mount Pleasant looked dead in the water when they were 26 down, but they have done a nice comeback. You have 5:29, more than half of this fourth quarter left. A lot of time left, especially if King can cut it to 13, and
Wow.
he does.
That very flat shot finds a way to get in.
So 13-point lead now for North Catholic, and you really want to score here. Let's see if they come up with a good possession. Matt Greger to Connor Madelon to Isaiah Jackson. Jackson to Rotman. Rotman gets into the lane, kicks it back out to Isaiah. Isaiah doing a couple crossovers, drives past Kubuski, throws it up,
Nice
and
job, Isaiah.
that's the person you want to drive on.
Yep.
Kubuski could not foul him, so Isaiah was able to score there. He has 5 points now.
Turnover, great job. Oh.
Greger dribbled it off the foot, I think, of the Mount Pleasant player, so North Catholic gets the inbound. And lucky there for Mount Pleasant, that was probably going to be a layup.
Yeah, I actually thought that went off of Greger's own foot, so I thought that it was going to be a turnover.
Rotman drives past his man. He's going to lay it up, and 2 shots. Max Rotman gets to the free throw line, and that's going to be 4 fouls on Salvatore for Mount Pleasant. And we'll see if Max Rotman can push this out to a 17-point lead. And he misses the first. Connor Madelon, thinking it was a 1-and-1, gets the rebound and lays it in, but it was a 2-shot foul. So that basket does not count for Madelon, and Rotman will shoot here. His second free throw. It is good. North Catholic up by 16 now. Max's first points of the game. Salvatore looking for someone to pass to, guarded by Jackson, getting a pick from King. King slips it. He gets the ball down low.
On the floor.
On the floor. It's going to be on Max Rotman.
Every possession for the Vikings at this point is going to be critical if they're going to stay in this and get back into this.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. And the ref might have bailed Rotman out there.
He did.
I thought that King was in a shooting motion. But he is going to get a 1-and-1, and he's not a good free throw shooter, but that one rolls in.
A lot more touch on that one. He did not quite fire it at the rim as hard as he has some of his other shots.
King tries to cut it to a 14-point lead, and he does. He's really done better on the free throw line here in the second half. He's got 12 to go with Kubuski's 15. So it's really been, Bungard has 10, so those 3 players in double figures for Mount Pleasant. North Catholic passing around the outside. Madelon sees a big driving lane. He goes in and lays it in.
Really nice finger roll there by Madelon.
Matt Greger with a nice cut through the middle to clear space for him. Madelon took advantage of that space.
Oh, that was interesting. Oh, Bungard, you got to take that shot, I think.
Yeah, even if he's covered.
Yep.
Let's see if he tries again. He throws it into King, and King is going to dunk it
Oh,
again.
my.
Pretty authoritative dunk there from Jonas King. You can see why he had 2 dunks in the last game. He doesn't need much room. Matt Greger, though, a smart left-handed layup, but he misses. That's the kind of mistakes you can't have.
That's exactly right. You can't have that. I find it interesting, too. Mount Pleasant okay with getting it into King. A little bit of a change in approach here. Not that time.
Yeah, Rotman to Ammerman. Ammerman lays it in with his right hand that time. Ammerman's got 26 to lead all scorers. And the lead is 16, back to 16. Kubuski, though, open three, misses. Ammerman with the rebound was going to dribble it all by himself. He throws it to Gregor quickly. Gregor to Madelon. Madelon to Rotman. Mount Pleasant has switched to man-to-man here, and Rotman drives by easily. King, though, with some nice help defense, knocks the ball out of bounds, prevents the easy layup from Ammerman.
Certainly not the runaway that you thought the Trojans were going to do, but they're managing to keep it at this 13, 16-point range.
Yeah, if it doesn't get under 10, you're not happy with the performance, but it's not really a nail-biter.
That's right.
As Jackson should just shoot that layup. Kubuski is on you. Go up.
Yes.
He's either just going to let you shoot it or he's going to get his 5th foul.
Again, and also, did you see Salvatore almost on the splits there to deflect that pass with the foot?
Yeah, last-ditch efforts here from the Vikings. Ammerman is
Great
blocked
defense by King.
Unfortunately, the block goes right to Ammerman. They've had a nice battle here tonight down low.
Yeah,
they're
that
two
is
good
a good
interior players.
I agree, really good one.
Tui just throws it to Jackson, and Jackson will see if they slow it down here. He gives it to Max Rotman. Rotman passed up an open three. Jackson will not pass up the open three. He hits it. He's got 8. I haven't seen him shoot the ball really well since he was a sophomore. So those 3-pointers are really encouraging. He's got double digits now. Great game from senior point guard Isaiah Jackson. And now it is a, suddenly it's 23-point lead now.
Yeah,
that's going to be Salvatore with a 3.
That's his first points of the game.
That happened really fast to get that lead up over 20.
Yep, it sure
and
did.
With 2 minutes left and a 20-point lead, now this game is probably out of reach for Mount Pleasant. But a really great effort from them tonight. They were much better. I don't want to say much better than I expected. What a block from King and another block from King.
Another block from King. I wish I was keeping track of that.
And Ammerman's got 30 now, as North Catholic just relentless despite the 2 blocks of King. And Mount Pleasant throws it away. Max Rotman throws it to Madelon.
Almost picked up his 5th right there.
Kubuski almost had it. Yeah, it was definitely almost a 5th foul. 1:20 left now. Isaiah Jackson passes it to Max Rotman. Rotman down low to Madelon. Madelon's going to drive in and wants no part of King. Yep. He also just wants to get more of the clock off.
I think that's exactly right.
You don't need to score anymore in this game. You're up by 22 points. Unless Mount Pleasant wants to foul, I don't think North Catholic is going to take a shot unless it's a wide open layup at the rim. And there is a foul from Bungard. That's going to send Madelon to the line.
And you know what's interesting here, Sean? If you're Mount Pleasant, it's tough. You know that the fouling isn't going to make any difference, but at the same time, just running around chasing the ball also feels a little demoralizing too. So you foul, you stop that, and maybe you get a chance to do something on offense.
Yeah, I want to see what Mount Pleasant's coach does here as Madelon gets the free throws for his 15th. And I thought this might happen. He's going to send in his bench.
Good for
every
him.
Player on the court right now is a senior.
That's right.
So let's look at the Mount Pleasant crowd. Give this senior class a big hand. Their first playoff win in 7 years for them. And I was really impressed with this group of seniors from Mount Pleasant.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
nice to see them get recognized. A class move by the coach there to sub them out en masse at a stoppage. And North Catholic is going to do the same thing and put a lot of their bench players in. If you're Madelon, do you make this free throw or do you miss it to stay in the game?
That's a good question. I was going to say you make it because you want to go off, but maybe you want to keep playing. So, oh, look at that. He knew it. He hit it. He started walking to the bench right away.
Yeah, he makes it there. This is probably going to be the last game that we get to do for the boys, unfortunately. So when the game ends, I really want to mention our seniors as well because they've done a great job continuing the momentum from last year's senior class. But we'll see if Mount Pleasant can get a basket here with some of the players off their bench.
That's a great point. You know, Sean, this Trojans team has been good all year long, certainly, but hasn't gotten a lot of attention necessarily as one of the better teams in 4A. But just recently, I think I saw that they've been ranked at 4 or 5 in the classification. So starting to get recognized for what they've accomplished.
And Tegan McTighe commits a foul. And going to the free throw line is going to be number 44 for Mount Pleasant, who I do not
Bryce
have.
Jaworski.
Bryce Jaworski. And we'll see if Jaworski can get some points here.
Not sure if there's any relation to Ron.
And he misses his first free throw, does Jaworski. Jaworski's second is good. And I think they gave him 2 points for that on the scoreboard. Or did they have 46? I thought they had 45.
Interesting.
Is that what you had?
I actually had him at 49.
Oh, okay.
So,
there
we
took
go.
some points away. Who was that? Liam Strom?
Yes, it was.
Liam Strom with a 3. He's a junior, played basketball all 3 years. Nice to see him get his first playoff points. 10 seconds now. Maybe one more shot for Mount Pleasant. We'll see if they get it off. They throw it all the way across the court, trying to get into the lane. Nothing doing there. A buzzer-beating shot is just short from Mount Pleasant, and they fall by, I don't really know what the final score is, but we've got 73-47 on the scoreboard. Mount Pleasant gets 16 points in that quarter, and North Catholic gets 21 for that 73-47 win, a 26-point win. This game was closer than a 26-point game, Phil.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Sean. And especially when you thought that North was really, really going to run away with it there in that third quarter. Next thing you know, and when Kabuski was out, next thing you know, he comes back in. Mount Pleasant makes a run. They get it down to 13. This is all of a sudden a game. And then it ends up at 26, like you said, and like,
I think Mount Pleasant ran out of gas.
I think you're right.
They got a real boost when Kabuski came back in that second time. They played 6 players, really, maybe 7, and North Catholic is going to run like 8 or 9 players at you, and they're playing hard. All 9 of those North Catholic players are playing fast and hard, and you just can't compete with that with 6 players. So I think North Catholic wore down Mount Pleasant tonight, but a real fight put up by Mount Pleasant. Kabuski was really impressive, and so was King.
So was King, absolutely. King, some great interior defense, strong around the rim, getting the ball into the basket. He picked up on his free throws there at the end of the game. And I tell you what, I was really surprised that we didn't see more out of Bumgard. He came out on fire with a three-pointer, but never really developed into the second half there.
He missed badly on some threes in the first half. That might have made him gun shy.
Yeah.
And he just, maybe they just did a better job staying like close up tight to him and made him really uncomfortable. That's that great vaunted North Catholic defense. Let's just run through the scoring real quick for you. Isaiah Jackson had 10, Matt Greger had 13, Connor Madelon had 16, Andrew Ammerman 30 points.
30 points.
Real force down low. Max Rotman 1 point. Tyler Salvatore 3, Nathan Kabuski led the way for Mount Pleasant with 15. Jacob Bungard had 10. Jonas King had 14. Lucas Tui had 2. And Dante Gilinardo had 2. So this is probably the last game that we're going to get to do with the boys team, unless there's an upset and we get another home game. So I just want to give a shout out to the seniors, Owen DiGregorio, Isaiah Jackson, Connor Madelon, and Andrew Ammerman. They have done a fantastic job this year. So many great seniors graduated from last year's team, and there has not been much of a drop-off this year. So kudos to those 4 seniors for upholding the standard that has been established at North Catholic boys basketball.
And especially given the way last year ended, right? So weren't able to complete that run in the state tournament, and then this year starting up with all the uncertainty. You got to really hand it to those seniors for leading this team, getting them where they are. All the credit in the world to those guys, and I hope that they get a deep run here, both in the WPIAL tournament and then hopefully even into the PIAA tournament as well.
North Catholic has made the semifinals of the WPIAL for as long as I can remember on the boys' side, and this is going to be a tough task for them this year. Let's actually take a look at the road ahead for your Trojans. North Catholic is a winner. They're going to play the winner of the 4-13 game, which is Quaker Valley and Derry. So we would assume that that's going to be Quaker Valley. We don't know yet if it is Quaker Valley. Quaker Valley is 3rd place in their section, but 10-3 in their section, 12-4 overall. That's a good basketball team. They played in a very, very tough section with Lincoln Park and Montour and Central Valley and Blackhawk. Those are all traditional basketball powers. So that's going to be quite a game. That game is going to be Monday at 6 p.m. either at North Catholic here if Derry wins, or more likely at Quaker Valley. So hopefully the Trojans can win that game. The high seeds on the other side of the bracket are Lincoln Park and Montour. And Belle Verdon is the 1 seed. I think they lost in the finals of this classification last year to Highlands. So that's who North would potentially meet in the semifinals if they get there.
I'm really looking forward to seeing if that can happen. I would love to see this Belle Verdon team. I've heard a lot about them. I know that they've had a really great season. So that would be a really exciting matchup for these Trojans if they can win that next game against what's most likely going to be Quaker Valley. But we'll have to wait and see. I'll tell you what, as a recap from this game, Sean, if I'm Coach DiGregorio, I think one of the things I'm most disappointed about is that lack of a fast start, right? You come out against a team that you should beat, and you let them get out to that 7-0 lead early. But on the flip side, you feel good they responded to that, and at the end of the day, you look at the scoreboard, and it's a pretty dominating performance by the Trojans.
Yeah, it's the defense that has kept them alive all year. It's the defense that won them the game tonight. I think you still got to work on the turnovers and the fast start. I love watching Coach DiGregorio's teams play, so I'm gonna try to watch or listen to that game however I can on Monday. But I'm really gonna be crossing my fingers for a good start. I don't want them to lose a game because they start poorly.
I agree with you. And I can't wait to watch that game as well, wherever that's going to be, however we can take it in.
All right. So we would like to tell you that moving on to girls basketball, our next Trojan Game Day is this Saturday as the girls match up with section rival Freedom in the second round of the WPIAL Class 3A playoffs. Tip-off is scheduled for noon, 12 p.m. right here at Bartha Graham Court. And our coverage at NC Sports Network will probably begin at 11:50 a.m. For the entire crew here, myself, Sean Malone, and Phil O'Hara, thank you for watching, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your evening.